joining me on the Terror Machine. This is your monthly love reading for the month of May 2017, and this will be for the sign of Gemini. But before I start this reading, I was going to start some quarterly love readings the second quarter, but I ran across the Mercury retrograde and it came with a hard lesson. So I had to down myself and actually sit back and try to regroup myself because something major happened in my life. So I'm trying to get everything back together, and I'm trying to get everything reorganized and resettled in my personal life. So I'm gonna go ahead for now and do monthly readings and see where everything is about to land or go, and try to reshape the channel and everything. So let me go ahead and give you your message for the month that can help you out. Okay, the card that came out is Embrace Enlightenment. So, when it comes to love, what it is that if you're looking for somebody, embrace what is coming to you, and embrace how you feel at this time or how the other person is feeling at this time, and maybe you entered a different type of space, or you having a different thought on how you want to reshape your personal relationships. And if that knowledge comes up now for singles and for married couples, just embrace it and see how could you work with it, because with the Mercury retrograde being ended now, people had went through their changes, and they're coming to a point now they're trying to rediscover different aspects about themselves, or they faced a lot of lessons, some small, some big, but they came to a point that they may have realized that certain things that worked before is now working, because they kind of manifested into a new type of person, and especially when it comes to personal relationships one on one. So embrace that change and maybe try to find a new way to incorporate your new self into um the current situations when it comes to finding love or already in a relationship with somebody. So let me go ahead and give you your cards to see what you'll be working with for the month. Okay, what you have in the middle of the reading is the Ace of Wands in reverse. The Ace of Wands in reverse is maybe at this time you're not, for singles, you're not too enthusiastic of trying to find a new relationship at this time. Maybe you're trying to um, work on other things that in your life that you feel is more important or take better precedent. And maybe if you was trying to pursue somebody, either that person may be not interested, or people coming up to you, you may be displaying a sort of non-interested attitude or a lack to pursue them because of this newfound enlightenment or acknowledgement that you're entering when it comes to your personal relationships. When it comes to you already coupled up, what it's saying is that the relationship is has hit a level that everything is being the same. What you're doing is being the same. It's nothing new coming in. Both of y'all maybe is unwinding from a hard period in your life when it comes to you being coupled up. Maybe you went through a lot of stuff together as a couple, and you decided kind of not pursue or put any action when it comes to your relationship. You're just trying to let everything settle around you so you can regroup your relationship at a later time or try to reshape it at a later time. What you have underneath you is the Nine of Cups in reverse. The Nine of Cups in reverse is usually in the upright, it means all your wishes is coming true. Whatever you wish for is coming true. In the reverse, it's saying maybe you was hoping to get, for singles, hoping to get some kind of renewal or some kind of new emotional thing coming into your relationship, but for the month of May, because you may be focused on other things, that it's not coming through, or the wish of somebody may be freed up, or you wanted to catch up with somebody to see if they were still interested in being in a relationship. They're not making themselves emotionally available, or you're not making yourself emotionally available at this time. That is just showing that it's not going to come through for the month of May. If you already coupled up, it's just showing me that this downtime that you have in your relationship is showing that you're not being at this time emotionally invested in each other. You kind of have a thing of being detached from each other for a minute, because y'all both are on two two different mind frames, and both what y'all both is thinking about has nothing really to do with a emotional thing, or kind of working to um, keep your emotional bond together. It's just that you're both probably are thinking about other things that kind of supersede your love aspect when it comes to you being joined up. Um, what you had in the past is the actual world. So whatever happened, singles, whatever you went through in the past kind of changed you or changed your point of view when it came to how you pursue a relationship, or you may have got out of a relationship and you kind of, it kind of changed you. You needed the time to rewind, or that person you let go kind of changed or altered the way you do things going in the future. And maybe you met somebody, or somebody was coming at you and hoping that if they would get with you, it would bring a change about their life, or bring a change to your life. And they probably did, but during this time with the enlightenment is showing that you're trying to refocus your energy and redirect the way you deal with people, or how you deal with your one-on-one situations. If you already coupled up, it just said that your relationship went through a major transformation, and it went through a transformation that either it progressed it forward or it kind of moved back, but it had moved and changed the dynamics of how your relationship is operating from this point going on. And it's probably changed you, that it may had you step back and take another reflection on your relationship, due to it's no new drive that you want to put into the relationship to push it further or make it a little bit tighter. Um, what you have crowned you above you is the Knight of Wands in the upright. So the Knight of Wands is, if you're single, you could be meeting a person that could re-spark that drive for a relationship, or um, you can have that attitude towards the end of the month that you are ready to go and venture out and see, and see what's out on the, I want to say out on the market for you to get in a relationship with. Or you may have came to the point that you sat back and reflected long enough of how you wanted to reshape your relationships, and now you're ready to move forward and put a little more drive into getting into a one-on-one relationship with somebody. And somebody may come at you like that, or you may come like that, but the person you meet may be a fire sign, so they might spark this little thing that they could reignite you to go and pursue a relationship. And if you already coupled up, it's saying that either you and your companion is going to hit a point that they're getting out of that phase of kind of getting over things that wasn't working in your relationship, and now they're ready to put that energy back into the relationship and try different things, or try to kind of clean things up in a relationship. If you felt that it went backwards, they trying to push ahead and put a new kind of spark to the relationship so they can rekindle that bond that they had for you, or you had for them. And it's basically you're been at a point, you've been sitting on the fence of doing things together as a couple. Now you're ready towards the end of the month to move forward and show a little bit more oomph in your relationship. The last card you have is the Eight of Pentacles, and I mean that, not eight, the Eight of Cups in reverse. Excuse me for that. If you're single, it's saying that usually the Eight of Cups in the upright is that you're kind of through with a situation. You maybe be through with the dating thing, or trying to hook up with different people, or you was through with trying to find a relationship for now. But now what it's saying is that you're ready to give it another chance. No matter what comes about, you ready not to just junk your whole prospects of not being in a relationship. Maybe you presenting yourself at the end of the month to somebody like that, that you would give it one more chance or one more try, or you would just put yourself out there to see what happens without totally shutting yourself off of any possibilities that can come to you when it comes to a relationship. And as for couples, what it's saying is that you're not going to junk the relationship because it went through this low period, or this period that you both were reflecting. You're going to put the effort in with this new drive to go ahead and keep moving forward. You know that you have a good person with you, and you're not ready to dismantle the relationship just because it's hitting a certain low point in your relationship. You ready to give it another chance, and maybe this new spark is giving you this chance to say, okay, we can work it out again, or we can kiss and make up, and let's just move forward, and then let's see what this brings our relationship to now. So let me go ahead and get some clarifiers for these reversals and see why all of this is coming up. See what the the Ace of Wands is. The Ace of Wands, it is the strength. So what it's showing me, if you're single, you was definitely recouping yourself when it came to a past relationship or relationships you had before. You wanted to make sure before you put yourself back out there that you got yourself together, and that can be in any aspect. You wanted to make sure you got your emotions back together, or you got your financial situation back together. Anything that could affect your possibility of getting into a relationship, you was trying to regroup yourself. And especially with Embrace the Enlightenment, it's showing that you needed time to sit back and reflect on what was going on with you. With couples, it's the same thing. You was both kind of reserving yourself to try to find a new way and a newfound way of interjecting stuff in your relationship. Maybe one of y'all was sick, and it was just one of those things you did not want to pursue at that time, and you was waiting for your companion to get well again and then rekindle some stuff in your relationship. And the second card you have is the Eight of Wands in reverse. So you definitely was taking time back to reflect and see what was going on or recoup. Because usually the Eight of Wands upright means rushing or news coming in. So what it reverse means, you was sitting back and taking time, and the time was more a reflection of seeing where you at in a relationship or what you wanted in a relationship. And that goes for singles and couples. You was really sitting back and figuring out where did you fit when it came to your one-on-one relationships, or you was sitting back trying to think where your place was when you already joined up with somebody. Let's see what the Nine of Cups is saying in reverse. You had the Queen of Cups in reverse. So that means your heart was definitely not in it. It was just saying that with it in reverse, it was just saying that at this time you just didn't want to invest any kind of emotional thing for singles. You just didn't want to invest any time in any particular one person because you was going through something yourself. And as for couples, it's just saying that you was practicing a little detachment from your companion to give them time to figure out what was going on, or you practice a little detachment and not was putting no heart into it because you wanted to make sure that whatever feelings you was going through was really accountable, or you really had got the information that you wanted, or to make a decision to move forward from this point on. And then you have the Tower in reverse. The Tower, usually in the upright, says that something external or some kind of catastrophic change was going to change you. Either usually it would change you for a better, it was a light lesson, but when it's in reverse, it says nothing really catastrophic hit you other than this enlightenment or this epiphany about where was you placing yourself in your own personal relationship. And that can go for singles and people coupled up. So let's go ahead and see why you got the Eight of Cups in reverse. You have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So basically for singles, like I said, you was cutting yourself off from um, trying to get in a relationship with anybody else until you got yourself basically two together. You wanted to make sure that everything was game tight and on your end to be self-sufficient and not depend on nobody, or you wanted to get over a relationship and not drag um, those type of feelings into somebody new, and you just did not want a lot of people kind of horning on you. Like they found out that you was single and they horned it on you because, oh, you free now, a whole mess of people, so you cut yourself off just to rethink about stuff. If you already coupled up, it's just saying that it was more of a reflection period. You wasn't trying to interject any kind of new things on your companion at that time, and you was really game on focusing on the here and now and what you as a couple was going through at that period of time. And the last card you have is the King of Swords in reverse. So maybe with singles and couple up, maybe it's getting to me that maybe your emotions wasn't all the way there. Either your companion's emotions wasn't all the way there, or you as an individual of going to find somebody to be in a relationship, your emotional space wasn't all there, or your thoughts on the way you operate in a relationship or how you get a relationship was not jiving with this newfound enlightenment you had. You had to kind of sit back and see, did it still have the I wanted to say, did it was the same fit that you had from previous times, or was it, or did you something happen to you that made you really think about some stuff that was messing up your relationship or bettering your relationship, and you really got into your mind at this time of really thinking about stuff, and maybe that caused you, if you was presenting yourself, maybe it caused you to be moody towards people, or your companion was moody towards you, so you kind of backed up off the situation to see what was going on. And let me do the bottom card. The bottom card you have is the high priestess in reverse. So it's saying that couples or singles, you was just not at the right mind space to get in a relationship, or reshape, or think about love. If you already coupled up, it was just something running off internally that you had to double check it, or you was trying to reformulate something in your relationship and you just could not figure it out. You was operating, when it came to one-on-one relationships, at a clouded headspace, and maybe the clouded headspace came in because this new enlightenment about how you're changing as a individual person, or as a couple as a whole, started to morph into something, and it caused you to have a little confusion by when you were moving ahead when trying to find a relationship, or be re kind of tightening up the current relationship that you're in. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.